Good afternoon. Xin chào. Welcome to this e-webinar seminar. My name is Anthony Lim. I'm from Singapore. I'm Regional Principal Consultant at Fortinet. I was asked to do a presentation on trends and threats and in our cybersecurity world today. And I thought, instead of going into what's the latest attack, what's the latest malware, what's the latest kind of a security issue, why don't I take a step back and talk about what causes the possibility of attacks and what encourages hackers to try and attack us. So my presentation today is digital transformation. Are you forgetting something? So when we talk about digital transformation, a lot of organizations today are focused for the past several years on digital transformation. They are embracing new technologies to go to market, to new ways of doing things using IT. So when you say digital, you mean IT, information technology, computer technology. And currently, given the COVID virus situation, a lot of countries, a lot of organizations, a lot of cities are locked down and they're doing work from home and they're doing remote access, video conferencing like we're doing right now, and business continuity. And that actually is a lot of the display of digital transformation, where companies deploy technologies using IT to try and carry on the business and their communications. So with that in mind, my presentation today is digital transformation. Are you forgetting something? What do I mean by that? Okay, so we start with the introduction. With introduction, we talk about cybersecurity. So everyone talks about cybersecurity today. And why are we talking about cybersecurity again? You hear a lot of it and people are quite tired of it. But we need to continue to talk about cybersecurity because cybersecurity is a journey. It is a continuing journey. Every year we have new systems in IT, new services, new apps, cloud, mobile, AI, new applications, new services, 4G, now 5G is coming out and all that. IoT and smart cities, robotics, AI and all that. So these all form transformation in IT, in digital, that we deploy in our work, in our communications, in our leisure, in our homes. And there will be a lot of new security considerations. Every time a new technology comes out, there will be issues that, why are there security issues? Because these were never dealt with before. For example, Zoom. No one really talked about Zoom. But in the past few months, suddenly everybody is using Zoom. And because when a lot of people are using Zoom, they discover things that they didn't have to deal with before. And now we have to patch and all that. The same thing, there's a lot of taxation on the bandwidth in every country because everyone is working from home. Everybody is having commuting and video conferencing. So, whether it's Zoom or WebEx or Skype or Microsoft Teams, there are many other technologies that facilitate this kind of business communications and other things, mobile apps and applications, that we need to make sure that hackers do not try and find opportunities to make trouble using all these new technologies that we are deploying. So the COVID lockdown around the world, like I said, has caused sudden massive increase in telecommuting, remote access, video conferencing, cloud services. A lot of cloud services are being deployed, VPN. Everyone starts using these services, and in internet news on the LinkedIn, you read a lot of stories about security issues here and there. Data leak, data theft, system down, system hijack, user spoof and all that. So what is the issue? How are we going to make sure that we do not forget whatever when we get into digital transformation? What is digital transformation? It is where companies and organizations, even government, even banks, use technology to adapt to changes in the way they work, in the way they do business, in the way they do marketing, in the way they communicate with their customers and their other business partners, their suppliers, the ecosystem, the customers, and so on, and the other members of the industry. So you have new customer experiences, you improve operational efficiencies, you cut costs, you do more things per unit time, you do things faster, like IT and AI can help you do a lot more things faster than the human being. And you generate new revenue streams, you reach out to new customers, reach out to new opportunities, new products and services. Everything is a self-service on the internet 24 hours by 7 by 365 for the customer to do a lot of things that they couldn't do before. And the cost comes down. And then you rapidly respond to changing conditions, again, like the COVID, and then you can, with IT, you can rapidly respond to new conditions to carry on your business. So this is what digital transformation is all about. And there's a lot of examples here. Two of the greatest examples of digital transformation in recent years are, number one, BYOD, bring your own device. Suddenly, everyone is doing a lot of computing and business work on the mobile phone, on the iPad or the tablet. These small handheld devices, which are very thin, are now as powerful as computers itself, with a lot of RAM, 258, 512 gig storage and all that. And with very powerful chips. They can work like computers, so they can do a lot of things that computers do in your hand. And in fact, BYOD, where this, I came from IBM, and this story I like to tell, that BYOD is so pervasive today that IBM staff are carrying MacBook. Can you imagine that? Okay, I mean, it's funny, but it's real. So, and so on. So BYOD is one thing, or mobile apps. A lot of people are using mobile applications, and you must have at least 200 apps, of more, definitely more than 50 or 100 apps. When you buy the phone, you have at least 50 apps already, and so on. And then what about what other services? Go to every shopping mall, or you go to even your office, and every service you have an app. And there's a lot of these things going on. The second thing, which is related to mobile apps, that is a very big aspect of digital transformation today, is cloud services. Okay, so a lot of people are using a lot of cloud services, IaaS, SaaS, PaaS, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So a lot of cloud hosted services and a lot of cloud storage, cloud backups, business continuity, and all that are all very popular today. And again, especially with the COVID in place and the lockdown, a lot of organizations look to a lot of cloud services. So, and so on, okay? And one of the other things I'll talk about in digital transformation is also, the smart nation, of course. A lot of organizations are going to smart nation, smart cities, smart homes, Google, Alexa, and all that. And one other aspect of digital transformation is fintech, financial technology, where among the banks, among the financial institutions, they turn to IT to do business, faster, cheaper, and reach out to more people, more customers, and more transactions. When fintech first started, the big traditional banks laughed at it. So it's not going to happen. After one year, they say, And now the big organizations are also themselves getting involved in software development and development fintech services and working with the smaller organizations. And again, fintech is something relatively new, okay, where you use the internet and use software to do a lot of traditional banking. There's a lot of governance involved, there's a lot of compliance involved, there's a lot of cybersecurity, data protection, workflow protection, and how do you ensure these things are not forgotten in your path to digital transformation, in your path to fintech. And in fact, I'd like to mention fintech a bit in Vietnam, because there are you have a lot of people, nearly 100 million people. You have a lot of young people. You have a lot of smart people. And therefore, there's a very strong and successful fintech community in Vietnam, okay, which we don't really realize. There's a lot of young people developing software in this area. And so, some of the areas disrupted by fintech today, capital raising, payments, now you transfer money easily from one person to another, very cheaply, even almost free, even across countries. You buy insurance online, you can, borrow money and lend money and do investment, buy stock, and market provisioning. Many, many features and functions now. You go online, you don't go and line up in a bank to do the transaction anymore. Now, when we talk about digital transformation, it's not just about something new. The old things are also becoming digital transformation involved. What do I mean? OT, operational technology, all the mechanical engineering and all the equipment that's in the factory, in agriculture, oil and gas and mining, and all the traditional mechanical equipment are now getting joined to IT and IP networks. So you have OT, operational technology, joining IT, information technology. And once this happens, again, there's a lot of new opportunities for hackers to come and experiment, to try and make trouble, to try and see where they can hack and what data they can leak or what systems they can disrupt. So as you can see, as OT and IT converge, new vulnerabilities are exposed. Now we need to start protecting all the OT and the ICS, industrial control systems, or programmable logic control, PLC, all these kind of things, SCADA systems, energy grid, all the old infrastructure that are now getting connected to IT, connected to smart nations, smart cities. We need to make sure that we protect them. The hackers don't purposely or by accident, find them and leak the data or down the systems or hijack the system or cause other trouble. So in essence, when you embrace digital technologies, when you embrace digital transformation, there are many new technologies and services you need to secure. The firewall inside your company is not going to be able to secure your cloud service. The firewall in your company, is it able to secure your VPN? Is it able to secure your BYOD, your mobile apps, your mobile app services? Now they have 5G and LTE, now it's LTE, 5G is coming. So you need to make sure that, again, the data flow, the workflow, the data storage, the network segmentation, all that are in place, authentication and all that, to make sure that when you use new technologies, when you send money, when you have payment gateway, which payment gateway are you using? Which cloud service are they using? Where is it backed up? You need to know all this. Okay, when you deploy SD-WAN, software-defined wide area network across the internet to a branch office, you need to make sure that there's security involved, to make sure that, because when using the public internet, that the systems, both sides in the middle, are all secure. When you use, IoT, which is another thing, a lot of small devices right now are connected to internet using the public infrastructure, connected to wireless and connected to each other, and they talk to each other. And a lot of these IoT devices get easily hijacked by, again, the hackers or by worms, and to cause other problems like DDoS or trying to get access to other systems using your IoT devices. And there's a lot of IoT devices today because it's very convenient and they're very cheap in the factories, all the sensors, smart meters and all that. How do you ensure that you are using smart systems? How do you ensure that you're using IoT technology and make sure that they are adequately protected? You don't want your user ID is admin, password is also admin, and hackers also know this. You use AI, hackers also have AI, okay, to automate their processes and systems to make things faster. So we need to be aware of this. We need to be aware of, which data center are we using, what certifications they have, how are they protected, how are they backed up, what is your SLA with them, and what is your incident response procedure. These kind of things you need to make clear when you are embracing digital transformation that are accessing a lot of new third-party functionality and services that you've never had to deal with before. So basically, what are the cyber risk considerations? Here's a list of some of the domains. I'm not going to go through them. I mentioned some of them already. But basically, when deploying digital transformation, you are encountering technologies and services we've never used before. How do we ensure that together with our infrastructure, our existing and traditional infrastructure, become one seamless layer that are protected so that we ensure the data flow, data sovereignty, data storage, workflow protection, are all very clear to us so that we know where any issues that need protection are. That is the whole point. Because when you get into digital transformation technologies, your target of attack suddenly becomes very big. There are many, many areas, new areas that hackers, you see all the arrows coming in from all different directions. It's very hard to go and defend them all the time. So you need to find a way, how do you ensure that you are comprehensively protected while focused on doing your business, which is most important. Okay, with all these new attack surfaces, your edge, suddenly one edge has become 4 edges. You have the WAN edge, access edge, OT edge, if you use OT, and the compute edge. Your IT edge has become a lot more. Your attack surface has become broad. There are advanced threats. You need to be integrated in your defense to protect against the advanced threats, new threats, many threats coming from all over the place. And vendor complexity, there are many different vendors with many different solutions you need. How do you tie them all together? How do you ensure that they're automated so that you don't have to personally spend a lot of time and effort worrying about them and so you can focus on your business? So here's a framework for digital transformation security. It's called cyber resilience. How do we ensure we are strong? That's called resilient. You identify attack surface, protect against the known threats, detect unknown threats. How do you respond? How do you escalate? How do you make adjustments to protect against a new threat? and you do the assessment, and then you start again. Identify the attack surface is a cycle that starts again. It's a continuous exercise to ensure that you're always ahead, always protected. So in summary, a comprehensive cybersecurity management approach when you do digital transformation is to ensure that your visibility is broad, because your attack surface is now broad. So your visibility is broad, your protection is also broad, so you can be clear about where the errors are that hackers are trying to find out. The second thing is you need to integrate your protection, integrate your detection, so that all your different security solutions work together. You don't have 10 security guards, they're not talking to each other, they're not united, then you have a problem in your defense. So your security solutions have to be integrated. They need to talk to each other, work with each other like a united front to ensure, again, a united protection, because hackers will try more than one way to come into your organization. And you need to be able to automate the defense, automate the assessment, automate the response, because so it can be faster and deal with more things at the same time in the cyber defense. You don't have time to go and deal with it. And hackers also, like I said, have automated systems to attack you. So you need to make sure that your protection is also automated. Okay, to make a long story short, as I conclude, cybersecurity, again, is not only the technical component, it's not only the technology. We have the human and policy component. We have people, process, and technologies. Well, what about the people? What about the process? You see the next slide. Cybersecurity, you have in the middle PPT, not PowerPoint. You have people, you have process, you have technology. You don't just focus on technologies. Cybersecurity is also CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. A lot of people focus on the confidentiality, but they forget about the availability, which is why today in the COVID situation, especially, we talk about business continuity, where you make sure that there is an availability factor. Then you get things like DDoS system down, DDoS attack system down, or ransomware, or any other operational issues which affect your availability. Your bandwidth goes down because a lot of people are using. So you need to ensure that availability today is actually part of your cybersecurity, cyber resilience consideration. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a good seminar. I wish you a good digital transformation journey. Stay safe and thank you. Come on.